Okay guys, in the last video we renovated this bathroom. In this video we're going to buy some fall decor. We're going to decorate it a little bit. We're going to just basically get ready for fall, see what we can do, of course, while remaining on a budget. And yeah, so if you like videos like this, stay tuned. We're going to revamp my fireplace. We're going to turn it from drab to fab. And yeah, this is a total DIY project. And if you like videos like this, keep watching. Okay, El Chapo is asleep. So I need to work while I can without waking him. But whoa, something is wrong with my iPad tripod where it doesn't. Okay, so see how you can still see all of these lines? I want to kind of minimize that. So I have my joint compound. I have plaster of Paris. I was going to re-grout the whole thing, but I think joint compound gives me the amount of work time and that chalky finish I'm looking for. So I'm just going to, and then once, I want it a little bit rough, so I'm going to go over again and make a few lines. So let me just see if, yeah, because this gives me the look of plaster. But joint compound is gypsum. It has some other polymers to keep it wet and pliable. So you have longer working time. And we can compare one side to the other. Yeah. Okay, so originally I wanted to use drywall and a wood frame and go over it with Limewash, but I'm kind of over the Limewash. Then I didn't want to just paint the brick because there's really deep recesses. You know, the paint doesn't really go in, so then I would have to re-grout and do a German Schmeer technique. And so I mixed up some plaster in Paris, and you get like 0 working time. By the time I mixed it and put it into a bag, it was already almost solid. So I decided to use joint compound, which has similar ingredients, plaster of Paris. It just has a few other things, mostly gypsum, but it has like some polymers to keep it so it can have more drying time, more working time. So I went over with one coat, and see how you can still see the brick lines? So now I'm doing a second coat, and now it looks more like the inspiration photo. So I'm gonna keep working at this while El Chapo sleeps over there. And yeah, so I'm just gonna keep working at it, and I'll come back after I've done 2 coats up there and 1 more coat down here. Okay, so the key is, you would think to go over these crevices, but actually makes it more wabi-sabi if you leave some of them, you know? And then don't just make a smooth like that. Kind of go like that so you get some texture. And I have an idea. What if I mix a pinch of Roman clay into the joint compound? That might be interesting too, you know? So I have more like this type of effect. But I don't want it to be splotchy. So maybe I might just take a sponge later and add it. That might be smarter. Okay, the lighting's not very good, but this is day 2. You can see the bottom part had more of a chance to dry so that the brick lines are more subtle. But here, this is all wet. All the dark lines you see, like if I touch it, it's cold and it's wet. So you can see like the lines from the brick, but if you look this way, it's all flat. It's gonna dry pretty nicely. We did a bead of caulk, which looks amazing. You know, really like finishes off. I don't even need to go with paint because I think it's good enough. But I think when it's done, it's gonna look similar to this or this, you know? And I did a mixture of the joint compound mixed with the Roman clay. I just combined it in the trowel and then no rhyme or reason. Okay, so it's looking better. You see less lines, but it's a little bit splotchy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over with the joint compound, but I'm not gonna cut it with any color. I'm just gonna lightly skim over the grayish areas that look a little too muddy so that the finished effect can be more like that. See those areas? I'm gonna touch up those areas. So I'm gonna move this big old ladder, and that's what I'm gonna work on. time around, I'm just gonna use the joint compound. I'm not gonna use any color because I don't like how it looks kind of splotchy. So it's super moist and it looks darker. It's gonna dry a lot harder. You didn't know this was a Spanish villa? Better, Positano. We're in Positano right now. So I just want to give you a close up. Okay, so the areas that I feel like are too dark, I'm just gonna do a little schmear, which covers a crack as well as feathers out the color because it's a little too splotchy. Because when you add any type of colorant and it's wet, you really can't tell how dark the final result is going to be because it's always darker when it's wet. So you really have to wait till it dries to figure out if you like it or not. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys what I got. So they had a bunch of wreaths, right? But I was like, I have 3 fireplaces in my home, so I want to, how do I even put this? Okay, I know I don't like my front doors. See, but I have 2 front doors. Look, this is a hot mess. Let me start over. I have 2 front doors, so 1 wreath won't do. I gotta do 2. So I'm gonna make something for the fireplaces. I have 3 fireplaces. So I'm gonna make, I've done this many times before. I'm going to make like a bouquet for the fireplaces using these. And I'll put like a pumpkin next to it. And then, so like for $45, I got all this stuff where some of the wreaths that I like were like $90 and they're 50% off. So it's, wow, they fall apart. So it's like $50 for a wreath, which I thought was too much. So that's for me to make an arrangement. I'm even gonna add this cute little girl in there somehow. And then, let me show you this. For the front door, I got 2 of these. They're kind of small, but put 1 on each door. How am I gonna hang it up? So, that's the plan. I got 10% off of 1 because it's like missing, it's kind of sparse. So yeah, let me go put those on the front door. So really my little arrangement, it's not wide enough for the fireplace. So I'll just put it halfway. And I really love these leaves from my tree. Only problem is they die so quickly. It's like I need to put some, what's that spongy green stuff that they use? I forget what it's called. Some spongy green stuff they use for keep things moist. I need that. Hold on. I have a really nice huge tree outside, which gives me a lot of these pretty. Only thing is they die so quickly, but it gives me some greenery to play with. Okay, so I have the wreaths on the door, my discounted wreaths. They weren't the ones I wanted, but they were super affordable. I think under $10 each, and with the coupon they were even less. I just put the Raggedy Ann doll, which I love. Love the cute little beaded feet. Oh my God, just love them. Foliage, some leaves from my front tree, and if they die, it'll be fine. It'll be in keeping with the fall theme. I put this little item here, and that's about it. I'm not gonna go crazy. The tree has so much like good stuff. You can make your own wreaths. They even have the wreath frames. I'm just gonna get a couple things to add to the wreath that I already have. These are cute too. I love getting these from the dollar stores, the paints and the little canvases for him. So while he's doing that, we can go over the goodies. So I got some more things to add to the wreath. We'll see. I just felt like it was a little sparse. And it's good to shoot. Hobby Lobby, there were twice as much. Even though Hobby Lobby had a better selection, I prefer to save a little money. El Chapo is trying to take a nap, but this is a really gorgeous color. If you're interested in painting your color like a warm neutral white, it's called Downy. And yeah, I really love it. So I'm just gonna go over with the Downy on the edge right there where I got the Roman clay paint, and it kind of made it dark. So I'm just gonna go over that real quick. Okay, baby Chapo is asleep. So I painted the edges. Looks pretty damn good. Oh, I only needed to paint one little part up top, but I'm not even gonna like, actually there is a piece of grout, or not grout, I always call it grout, plaster at the top. I don't know if it flicked off of my spatula or what. I don't know if I should get it. I tried to pry it off. It's jammed on there pretty good, but I'm gonna go try to tap it a little bit. But I need to do some work on the computer for my day job before I can get back to this. So let me go downstairs, reconcile some items on the spreadsheet, my dreaded task, and I'll be back. But this is the, oh, there, came right off. It was a piece of something. So let me just clean this area up a little. What is that? Yeah. Let me clean this up and go over it with a little bit of paint. Even let me just push it in. See, that's just the caulk. So I'm just gonna paint like this stripe just to make it look better. If you look this way, it's pretty much smooth, but this helps to just like smooth out a little bit of the relief. It's all pretty much smooth, but like, let me see right here, just go. You get kind of more smooth effect. One of the things we can do, you can always take Hobby Lobby artwork, and this isn't even black, it's a dark brown. You can kind of like give it the colorways you want. Like, I like it, but it's just a little too much. I'm not a big fan of like green in my decor, so I'm just gonna go over it. It could be sloppy. I'm a sloppy artist. Let me just go over it a little bit. I just wanted it to pop a little bit more. I'm just like being very sloppy with it. I mean, you know? So I don't really want to incorporate a lot of green into this at all. But just went over the back with some black. You don't gotta like reinvent the wheel and create all your own art, but if you have something, and then you can always add some little bit of blacks to the colors that you already have, you know? Incorporate some into the shadows so it's not such a stark, and then you can always wipe it a little bit too, you know? There we go. And like that, it's a little much. So grab your rag, which for me is always an old sock. I can't find the matches. Kind of smear it out a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's a lot better. I got a little bit on the frame, but that's okay. But I do think it looks better. But how do I get it off the frame? I think I gotta sand it. I don't feel like it, but I gotta sand it. But I think it looks better like that. Looks way better. Only thing I could say is I should have taped it off a little bit better, but I didn't. But yeah, I like the way it looks. Okay guys, you know, I can never have a perfectly curated photo video for you guys. I have 1,000,001 kids, so I'm gonna end the vlog here. And the next time we come, we're gonna add the hearth. My husband has to be here because he has to cut the tile. We gotta figure out how high to bring it. We need to get some fire rated bricks to go inside, because the people that lived here before, what they did was they They lit the fireplace, but they forgot to open the hatch and it created a fire, and then they had to break apart some bricks, I guess, or maybe the fireman did it. I don't know. So I don't know. We need to get a fireplace specialist out here to see if the fireplace is good enough to start again and what we need to do. But we're gonna have to build up the hearth, so I'm not really tripping on how the bottom edges look, but I did my best. I put some camphor leaves from my camphor tree. So camphor leaves have medicinal purposes. They create an oil and a septic, and I think it looks really pretty with my Ukrainian vase. This photo I got from, actually a painting I got from this antique market. It was kind of expensive. I decided not to put the picture that we kind of revamped because it was a little too much. I kind of like the minimalist aesthetic. But I'm end the vlog here. I hope you enjoyed the Limewash Plaster Fireplace. It's a combination of Venetian plaster, Limewash, plaster of Paris because it has lime and gypsum. And it also has a stabilizer in it, so it has longer working time. Whereas if you use plaster of Paris, by the time you make your mix, you have like 3 minutes before it hardens up. So I needed to use something that I could spread and kind of like make sure that I liked it. I did a layer of the joint compound, which I'm gonna call plaster. So I did a layer of the plaster. Then I mixed the plaster with the Roman clay to give it like a color. And then I went on top again with the plaster because it was too splotchy. So now it has just the right amount of splotch, and I'm really feeling it. I just took my bed, which was over there, and I moved it over here. It's good enough for now. I have to make the kids dinner. I'm also gonna put some Roman shades here, but the neighbor's actually complaining about this tree. They want it cut down, so it's gonna cost $1,200 to cut down my camphor tree. So I'm gonna work on that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.